Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Nagin Best Digital Learning. So it's me Vinita as your English trainer. So as we know in our previous video we have already discussed about the chapter reading of Reach for the Top. Now we are going to start with the summary and first of all I just want to tell you something about it. So, in NCRT book, class 9, English Beehive, chapter number 8, Rich for the Top, is a biography of two prominent figures Santosh Yadav, the only woman mountaineer who climbed Mount Everest twice, a girl, a girl that was born in a very conservative society in Haryana where daughters had no freedom, but Santosh took control of her life with her strong willpower and dedication. As a result, she became the first woman to climb Mount Everest twice. So, this is, we can say, a theme also like how she took control of her life with her own strong willpower and dedication because she wanted to live her life according to her own ways. And we can say that she is the first woman in the world who has climbed Mount Everest twice. She had broken the record. She was born in a society where a son was considered as a blessing and a daughter was not welcomed. So once a holy man visited to family to bless Santosh's mother with a son, but Santosh's grandmother told him that they wanted a daughter. So still you can imagine at that time when they were lived in a society where a son was considered as a blessing and daughter was not welcome, but still her grandmother told the holy person, the holy man, that not to give blessings to her mother for son because we don't want a son, we wanted a daughter. And Santosh was the only sister of her five elder brothers, and she was born in a small village of Joniawas of Rewari district in Haryana. So we can say that she is the first woman in the world that belongs to Haryana from Rewari district in Joniawas village. So it was just a small village with the we can say that जो old rituals होते हैं that they would follow that word. Santosh name means contentment or satisfaction. But that Santosh, that girl, she was never satisfied with the traditional life of her society. She started to live her life according to her own terms from a very early age when other girls of society wore traditional dress and Santosh wore shorts. So I think till here you can understand what actually I want to say. And now, if we are going to start with the summary, what actually given here. So, shall we move to the next term? Okay. So, see, part 1 Santosh Yadav. Santosh's early life. This is the summary from the part 1 Santosh Yadav. संतोष अर्ली लाइफ, उसकी बचपन की जिंदगी कैसी थी? As we have already discussed, like Santosh was born in a small village named Joniavas of Rewari district in Haryana. It was the, we can say, residence of Santosh. And in her life, birth of a girl child was not welcomed in her village. Actually, from which village she belonged na, in that village, birth of a girl child was not really welcomed. They felt a girl as a curse and a son as a blessing. Before her birth, a holy man was about to give her mother the blessings of a son, but her grandmother insisted that they wanted a daughter. उसके जन्म से पहले a holy man वो होता है जो धार्मिक इंसान लाइक साधु संत टाइप was about to give her mother the blessing of a son. वो उसको बेटा होने का आशीर्वाद देने ही वाले थे, but her grandmother insisted that they wanted a daughter. लेकिन उसकी दादी जो थी मतलब संतोष की, we can say that कि उन्होंने जिद की, उन्होंने उस होली मैन को इंसिस्ट किया कि we didn't want a son, we want a daughter. So after insisting by her grandmother, the holy man gave him gave her the blessings of a daughter only. And can you imagine कि नॉर्मली हम सोचते हैं कि जिस सोसाइटी में लोग ऐसे रहते हैं ना, तो बड़े बुजुर्गों के अंदर वही सेम माइंडसेट ना अपने आप आ जाता है. एंड बट इट वाज रियली अ वेरी बिग मैटर फॉर सरप्राइज कि संतोष की ग्रैंड मदर रियली शी वांटेड अ डॉटर. और वो सब बहुत हैरान थे. इवन कि जो होली पर्सन था, जो होली मैन था, दैट वाज आल्सो वेरी सरप्राइज्ड कि ये कैसे हो सकता है. बट स्टिल it was true that she insisted that they wanted a daughter, and Santosh is the only sister of her 5 brothers. तो जो blessings थी वो काम आई, and Santosh was born, and Santosh is the only sister to her 5 brothers. संतोष जो थी वो अपने 5 भाइयों की इकलौती बहन थी. एंड हर फैमिली नेम्ड हर संतोष. उसकी फैमिली ने उसका नाम संतोष रखा एज इट मीन्स कंटेंटमेंट. जैसा कि हम जानते हैं कि संतोष का मीनिंग कंटेंटमेंट होता है, विच शोज देयर हैप्पीनेस ऑन हर बर्थ. विच शोज जो दिखाती है देयर हैप्पीनेस, खुशी ऑन हर बर्थ. जो कंटेंटमेंट है उसके बर्थ के टाइम पे, क्योंकि दे ऑल वांटेड अ डॉटर, तो यही उनको चाहिए था. एंड दे वर हैप्पी ऑन हर बर्थ, so they just usually named her Santosh. But Santosh name's meaning is contentment, but still she was not satisfied in her life. Why? Because she wanted to live her life by her own ways. But according to her, as we got to know uh, from some lines, that the mentality, the mindset of her parents also is just closed under the 4 walls of their customs only. And she wanted to fly. So she was not satisfied. She was not satisfied with her life. So Santosh was not just like the other village girls in her childhood. बचपन से ही संतोष जो थी वो अपने गांव की बाकी लड़कियों की जैसी कोई लड़की नहीं थी. She wore shorts, while other girls in her village wore traditional Indian dresses. वो शॉर्ट्स पहनती थी, जबकि बाकी जो लड़कियां थी उनके गांव की, वो टिपिकल ट्रेडिशनल इंडियन ड्रेसेस जो है वो वियर किया करती थी. As we, as I already informed to you that her name means contentment, and contentment means satisfaction, but she was never satisfied with the traditional life of her society. So she started to live her life according to her own terms from a very early age. So this is the only result, this is the only point that from which we just understand that she started to live her life according to her own terms. Because as she wore shorts while other girls in her village wore traditional Indian dresses. At 16, 16 साल की उम्र में, most of the girls in her village used to get married, but she refused to get married and wanted to study. At 16, most of the girls in her village used to get married. It was a culture, it was the tradition by our ancestors, by their ancestors, ki at the age of 16, girls should be married. So that was only happened कि 16 years की जो वो थी, तो उसकी हम उम्र जितनी भी लड़कियां गांव में थी ना, उन सब की जो है वो शादियां फिक्स करा दी गई. And but she refused to get married and wanted to study. लेकिन उसने बिल्कुल मना कर दिया कि वो विवाह नहीं करेगी और वो पढ़ना चाहती थी. While her brothers were educated properly in good schools, but she was sent to the local school only, local village only. And at the age of 16, उसकी जो playmates थी या उसकी जो हम उम्र थी ना, so it was according to the old tradition that at the age of 16 the girls would married, and even her parents wanted to get her married at the age of 16 according to the culture, according to the custom of old tradition. But literally, she refused to marry and threatened parents that she would not get married until she gets a proper education. उसने बिल्कुल क्लियर मना कर दिया because it was just really very hard to understand this point कि कैसे possible हो पाएगा कि इतनी जल्दी एज में शादी कर दी. So she was completely against by this law, by this custom, by this tradition. So she refused to get married and wanted to study. She directly refused to get married and wanted to study. Okay, then Santosh's education. What do we know about Santosh's education in the chapter? So as we know already कि उसके जो गांव का या उसकी जो फैमिली का जो एक कस्टम था ना, उसमें क्या था कि लड़कियों को पढ़ने के लिए ना ज़्यादा बाहर नहीं भेजा जाता था. सो यूजुअली उसको अपने गांव के एक लोकल स्कूल में ही पढ़ना पड़ा. Although her parents could afford, they could afford the fees of good school, and even her brothers were educated properly in good schools, a good reputed school, but she was sent to the local village school because of the family custom. And then she decided to fight against the system. So she threatened her parents that she would not get married until she gets a good proper education. तो उसने कंप्लीट अपने पेरेंट्स को मना कर दिया कि जब तक उसको वो अच्छी पढ़ाई नहीं देंगे तब तक वो विवाह नहीं करेगी। सो डिस्पाइट बीइंग रिच, हर पेरेंट्स सेंड हर टू द विलेज स्कूल। अब उसको अमीर होने के बाद भी उसको गांव के एक स्कूल में भेजते थे। But she decided to fight the system, and she enrolled herself in a school in Delhi against her parents' wishes. उसने क्या किया, अपने आप को अपनी ग्रोथ के लिए उसको लगा कि अगर मैं यहीं पे रहूंगी, यहीं पे रह जाऊंगी, तो इवन आई एम नॉट एबल टू ग्रो इन माई लाइफ। So she decided to fight against the system. So she decided to fight against the system. So she enrolled herself in school in Delhi against her parents' wishes. So she decided, तो इसने डिसाइड किया कि वो इस सिस्टम के अगेंस्ट जो है फाइटिंग जरूर करेगी. So she enrolled herself in a school in Delhi. उसने दिल्ली की एक स्कूल में एडमिशन ले लिया एंड अगेंस्ट हर पेरेंट्स विशेस, अपने पेरेंट्स के अगेंस्ट होके, एंड शी डिसाइडेड टू लेफ्ट द होम. उसने घर छोड़ दिया एंड गॉट एडमिशन इन अ स्कूल इन दिल्ली. और एडमिशन लेने के लिए अपने आप को एनरोल कर दिया. एंड इनिशियली तो हर पेरेंट्स रिफ्यूज टू पे द फीस. पहले तो उसके पेरेंट्स जो थे वो बिल्कुल कंप्लीट अगेंस्ट थे, बिकॉज शी was just decided to fight the system, and it was just against of her parents also. So once she decided to left the home and got admission in the school in Delhi, so initially to her parents refused to pay the fees. They literally directly refused to pay the fee, but later on they agreed. But Santosh threatened that she would work part time to pay the fees. She would work part time to the fees. पहले तो उसके पेरेंट्स ने मना कर दिया कि वो फीस जो है वो पे नहीं करेंगे. फिर इस पे संतोष ने धमकी दी अपने पेरेंट्स को कि कोई बात नहीं, अगर आप फीस नहीं दोगे तो इट्स ओके, तो फिर मैं पार्ट टाइम जो है वो काम स्टार्ट कर दूंगी. तो गुड, पार्ट टाइम स्टार्ट कर देगी. बट संतोष ड्रीम ऑफ माउंटेनियरिंग. So after completing education in Delhi, so she passed high school uh, and got admission in Maharani College in Jaipur. संतोष ने अपनी हाई स्कूलिंग कंप्लीट कर ली and then she got admission in Maharani College in Jaipur, and her room in Kasturba hostel faced the Aravali Hills. Until she was not in the form, in the thought of that what she want to do in her life, but as she visited nearby the Aravali Hills, and literally it was curious for Santosh, and she decided, she actually not decided, she actually discussed that what actually we need to say to the students. So Santosh hostel room in Jaipur faced the Aravali Hills. संतोष का जो होटल का रूम था, हॉस्टल का जो रूम था, वहां से अरावली की जो हील्स है ना, वो बिल्कुल अच्छे से दिखाई देती थी. शी यूज टू वॉच पीपल क्लाइंबिंग द हील्स. वो क्या करती थी वहां पे, यूजुअली ना, शी यूज टू सी कि कैसे लोग जो हैं वो ऊपर की तरफ चढ़ते हैं, चढ़ाई कैसे होती है. और वी कैन से दैट शी यूज टू सी सम विलेजर्स गोइंग अप द hills and then disappearing after some times. Yes. Okay, then what is about her dream of mountaineering? So as she was there in the room in Kasturba hostel and always faced the Aravali heels. And nextly we do have, okay, then next, now she will be there in that hostel and she had observed about that heels, Aravali heels, and she used to see some villagers going up the hill और उसने कुछ गांव वालों को पहाड़ियों पर चढ़ते हुए भी देखा बट देन डिसअपेयरिंग आफ्टर सम टाइम, जो कुछ टाइम के बाद बिल्कुल डिसअपेयरिंग गायब हो जाता है एंड शी फाउंड दैट दोज पीपल okay, so nextly she agreed and encouraged her not to take. Okay, so then nextly she asked them if she could join them. अब उसने देखा कि कुछ विलेजर्स हैं जो यूजुअली क्या करते हैं गांव में एक बार पढ़ लेते हैं सब कुछ and you are not supposed to and she was completely agreed and encouraged to take mountaineering. Okay, so nextly then in they agreed and encouraged her to take mountaineering. उन्होंने क्या किया माउंटेनरिंग के लिए डिसीजन ले लिया कि मुझे माउंटेनरिंग करनी है बिकॉज जस्ट शी उसने क्या किया लोगों को देखा चढ़ते हुए और उसने ऑब्जर्व किया कि लोग ऊपर चढ़ते हैं और ऊपर चढ़ते चढ़ते गायब हो जाते हैं एंड शी गोट वेरी क्यूरियस एंड वेंट टू मीट द माउंटेनर्स वन डे उसने क्या किया वो बहुत क्यूरियस थी कि वाओ इसमें क्या है कि कैसे लोग चढ़ते हैं और कैसे वो लोग गायब हो जाते हैं सो शी वांटेड टू ट्राई ऑन हरसेल्फ सो शी आस्क्ड देम इफ शी कुड जॉइन देम तो वो जब वहां पहुंची तो उसने देखा कि जो माउंटेनर्स है ना वो क्लाइंबिंग कर रहे हैं सो देन शी आस्क्ड देम उन्होंने उससे पूछा इफ शी वुड जॉइन देम मतलब यहाँ पे वो लड़की जो है वो पूछ रही है कि मीन्स टू से संतोष ने पूछा है उन विलेजर्स से और वी कैन से दैट क्लाइंबर्स माउंटेनर्स से कि इफ आई कुड जॉइन देम कि क्या मैं आपको ज्वाइन कर सकती हूँ and it was very pleasant surprise for Santosh that they agreed and encouraged her to take mountaineering. Aman and Kurag. Okay. So nextly, she enrolled herself in a course at Uttarkashi's Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, and then she did not look back. अब वो एग्री हो गए कि ठीक है उन्होंने पॉजिटिवली आंसर दिया एंड शी एनरोल्ड herself in a course of Uttarkashi's Nehru Institute of Mountaineering. अब उत्तरकाशी के नेहरू इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ माउंटेनियरिंग में she got admitted. She has taken the admission and then she did not look back. और वहां से उसने कभी पीछे मुड़ के नहीं देखा. ये फर्स्ट उसका ड्रीम था माउंटेनियरिंग का और उसने जब एक बार ये सपना जिया तो उसके बाद उसने कभी पीछे मुड़ के नहीं देखा. She informed her parents about this. उसने अपने पेरेंट्स को इस बारे में इन्फॉर्म कर दिया and apologized to them for taking admission without their permission. और उन्होंने उनसे माफ़ी मांगी अपने पेरेंट्स से कि उसने बिना उनको इन्फॉर्म किए बिना किसी इंफॉर्मेशन के उसने वहाँ एडमिशन ले लिया. So I hope you will understand till here. So in next video we will learn something more related to this chapter. So till then, like, subscribe and do comment. I hope You will understand this. So thank you. Have a nice day.